Let's go out to Hartford, Connecticut, and talk to the mighty Nick. What's up, Nick?
Hello, Dr. Delony.
What up?
Not much. How about you?
Rocking on to the break of dawn, my brother. What about you?
That's great. I consider myself fortunate to be speaking to such an experienced and knowledgeable person such as yourself. And I just wanted to say I'm starting your book, and I'm looking forward to embracing its lessons. And
Very
thank you
cool,
for your
man.
hard work.
Well, thank you, dude. Appreciate you. How can I help, man?
Let's see. How do I move forward after a turbulent romantic relationship? How do I recover when I feel so unattractive in dating? And how do I give in dating when I felt like that's all I do? And if I can give you a little bit of context.
Yeah, go for it.
On paper, I'm successful. I have money saved. I have a good, safe home, healthy, supportive family and friends, including 2 married brothers with 3 kids each. I have a good paying union job, and I volunteer in the community. I work out, and I eat healthy. So I've had positive romantic relationships, but the last few were unhealthy. Without using the label of borderline, I had a girlfriend of about 9 months who exhibited all the DSM symptoms of borderline. Then my most recent relationship, of about 10 months, ended in June and was extremely turbulent. She's diagnosed bipolar 1, type 1, and around June stated she was very sorry as she was rapid cycling. She was manipulative, abusive, and became a heavier drinker. As you've mentioned on the show before, I felt so utilitarian, and she consumed all my energy. And then since June, she claimed I abused her, is suing me in small claims court, and she's been doing almost anything she can to make my post-relationship life difficult. And everyone in my family is seeing this unhealthy and perilous result, as this could impact my job. And overall, I just feel beat up. I felt like my love and giving nature were exploited. I feel like this extra challenge in trusting women again, and even in some ways trusting myself. And I feel so isolated, unfulfilled, and partially because I think she's behind me getting banned from a dating website to move forward. And I'm not thriving after all this, and I just feel like I'm alone.
Yeah, man, you got your heart broken and you got burned.
Yeah.
Like, you're not crazy, man.
Oh, thank you.
Like, have you ever done martial arts or anything?
No.
Okay. I remember the first time this awesome guy named Sonato knocked me out. He was a great boxer, and he just smoked me. Just melted me with a shot, with a punch. And I slumped over up against the wall in our gym, and I crashed to the floor, and I got up, and it was quick, and I had a bad headache, and I was kind of just wobbly. Somebody took me home. And the next day I was out. I don't ever want to do this again. This sucks. This is the worst. This is awful.
Mm-hmm.
And then about a week later, I went back just to watch. I ended up doing a few drills. The next day, I was back on the mats doing jiu-jitsu stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got smoked, man. I needed a break. You got smoked. You got hurt.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the best parts of you, the guy who you are, sounds like you're a giving guy. Sounds like you're a guy who works really hard. Sounds like you're a guy who does his best to love people in his community and his circle. And there's something super unsettling when somebody takes that love and compassion and weaponizes it against you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can check in on somebody like, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? And then they say, he's harassing me.
Mm.
Or you go pick somebody up who's had too much to drink, and they say, he picked me up. Or whatever the thing is. And you're just sitting there going, what? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I would think if you were ready to jump back into a dating relationship, that if I was your friend, I would tell you, please don't do that. Please take some time to heal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Let me ask you a hard question. You gave me a whole bunch of really impressive external metrics. Do you like Nick?
I like me. I think I have good value. I think usually in romantic relationships, it doesn't show through, especially at the start.
Why not?
So
Why not?
Um,
Because it sounds like you're a guy that's doing a whole lot of exhausting performing to make sure that you present the right way. And I just like Nick.
um, yeah, I believe that other people may have more, I don't know, exciting lives or something like that.
Why? Why? What makes you unexciting?
I I feel like some of it comes from just I don't even though I do all this, I feel like I lack confidence.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really come through to people. And so when I bring anything I do have that's of value and kind of spontaneous or exciting, it just I don't know. I feel like that's not something that's really attractive at the moment or attractive to a date or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a story you're telling yourself, brother.
Mm,
Because the way you introduced yourself to me is not, dude, I'm an awesome younger brother of two awesome brothers. I'm a member of my community. You introduced yourself to me by a bunch of stuff you have and just a bunch of stuff you've done. You handed me a resume of you.
yeah.
And when I used to hire people, the resume got you in the door. I didn't care about the resume once you got in there. I want to know you. And you're walking around with a story saying I'm uninteresting. And so the only way I can be of any sort of value in a relationship is to let people know I make good money. I got a nice car. I've got a nice house. I'm safe. And my brothers are happily married. And if
Yeah.
you were going to date my daughter, I would tell her to run from you.
Mm,
Because that is a guy who is coming in so guarded up that it's going to take a long time to get to know you. And I mean this with all due respect. The only people who are going to be attracted to all these external metrics are people who are grasping at their own straws.
mm,
See what I'm saying?
interesting. Yeah.
And you're going to
Yeah.
create this dance over and over and over again. Because if you walked into a group of people that I hang out with, a group of women that I hang out with, and we're like, "Hi, my name is Nick. I have a great job. I have a great car. I have a nice, safe house," they'd be like, "All right, dude, I'm out." If you walk
Hmm.
into a group of people who are struggling for any sort of security at all, they're going to latch on to that. But if you walked into a room confident because you have a nice home and you got a good job, it might be boring. A lot of us have boring jobs. You know what I mean? My job looks unboring, but most of my day is spent in meetings and reading nerdy journal articles, right? And trying to
Right.
write a talk. Very little of my day is actually in front of a microphone or on a stage. And so all of us have boring jobs, boring parts of our job. It's knowing, no, I put the work in, man. I'm a catch. I'm
Mm,
freaking Nick. I'm a catch. Hey, what's up? My name's Nick. I like punk rock music. What about you? But you can only
right.
get there if you like Nick.
Okay.
What are you into? What do you like?
I love going to museums. I graduated with a degree in art, so I like art. I like indoor rock climbing these days, so I like to be active. I like being outside bicycling.
What kind of art do
So
you like?
painting landscapes.
Who in the world told you that's boring?
Uh, uh, I don't know where that came from.
It's absolutely stone nonsense.
Hmm.
You have an art degree and you have a good job, both of those things?
Yeah.
That makes you a unicorn, Nick. You know what I mean? Most of my friends with art degrees don't have stable homes and good jobs. And I'm just kind of laughing because those are my buddies.
Well, and oddly enough, I'm a firefighter EMT, and so it's kind of on the other side of the map.
My gosh. Okay, so you're a guy who is willing to go in and do dangerous things on behalf of his community. You like art. You also like fitness.
Hmm.
Where is this story coming from that you're boring? that you need to lead with your car and square footage of your home. Lead with artist. Lead with, I'm obsessed with landscape photography and paintings. Oh, and by the way, if you're ever having congestive heart failure, I can help. Oh, and by the way, let's go rock climbing. Good gosh, dude, the line of people who are going to want to date you is going to be down the road. Here's the scary thing I think you need to metabolize, okay?
Okay.
If you find an amazing woman to date you, it will not heal you.
Mm.
That hole you feel will not come from the outside.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Bro, you've got a lot to offer beyond your car and job and home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe me?
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I trust you.
Conceptually, yeah.
Well, yeah, it's. I think partly I felt like this because it's almost in some ways it's as I became more successful on that paper in a way. Like some of the relationships, maybe this like validates what you're saying of like I was kind of attracting the wrong kind of people because I was looking better on paper in some ways and being a higher value in a way, and then but I didn't have the confidence still, and so it attracted like kind of the people that can kind of latch onto that and kind of just consume.
Yeah, consume is the great word. They're vampires. They want the external metrics.
Yeah.
Because for some reason they believe they'll be safer if the person they're with has a car and job X and whatever. And there's some truth to that, right? I mean, if you have those things, you're always going to eat, right? You're always going to have air conditioning and a roof over your head. Those are important things.
Yes.
I think I've talked about this on the show, but there was a really important moment this last year when my wife and I had a great interaction. It wasn't great at the time, but it's become one of the most important ones of our marriage and of my whole life. When she was like, hey, like how much I love you for how much money you make, that's full. Go chase these certificates and these awards and these bestseller. Go do all that you want. But I love you as much as I'm going to love you. And she's like, I don't care if we don't get another plaque on the wall down in the basement that says that X number of people bought your book. She goes, I love you.
Yeah.
And dude, that was hard for me to reconcile. But it came down to, I didn't so much like me that much. And sometimes,
what were some small steps? Sorry, go ahead.
Well, sometimes that's getting separate from the things that make us come alive. When's the last time you painted something?
Actually, yeah, it was before the relationship.
There you go.
Yeah, it was like about a year.
I want you to spend some time over the next 2 to 3 weeks painting something beautiful.
Okay, I can do that.
I want you to spend some time over the next 2 or 3 weeks hanging out with a couple of just dude buddies with no intent to go get girls. Y'all just go hang out. Go golfing, go fishing, go to a game, go do something.
Okay.
But tell jokes. Talk about music. Talk about art. Talk about rock climbing and the weirdos in the rock climbing community. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to circle back to humanity. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find somebody that falls in love with who Nick actually is and the stability that you're anchored into. You're a hard worker. You got a good job. You got a house. That's going to be bonus. That's going to be on top of her actually loving the real guy, not just the dog and pony show, because jobs are going to come and go.
Yeah.
Cars come and go. But Nick, the guy who loves art, the guy who works really hard, the guy who wants to be a good steward of his body, the guy who loves people so much that it got himself in trouble with this last girlfriend, That guy's etched in stone. That's who you are. And that guy's worth falling in love with. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes.
I want you to, you don't have to send me the original, but I want you to take a picture of your landscape, and I want you to send it to me direct message or email it to the show. And we'll put it up on the screen and let everybody see it. I'll give you a homework assignment. You got a couple of weeks. I want to see that. I want to see that beautiful painting. I want you to get back in touch with being still and seeing something beautiful and creating something beautiful and reconnecting with Nick. Because Nick's worth more than the car he drives and the house he lives in and the job he has. Those things are all important. Don't get me wrong. That's not Nick. Nick's bigger than that.